And you're live.
Man.
What a roller coaster.
Good morning, Tim.
Good morning, Thaddeus.
Hey, I'm so psyched, so stoked
You're
to
bringing
be
some
back
energy.
on Live from the Bunker, baby.
Man, I'm so glad to have you here.
Hey, I do what I can, you know?
Man. There was a girl in middle school. She used the expression, look it. She'd be like, look it. And then she would proceed into whatever she was talking about.
Okay.
And a minute ago, I was like, look it. Thaddeus is really bringing the energy. It's so good.
Hey, thanks for channeling middle school girl who had an interesting turn of phrase.
Man.
I love it.
Leah Gonzalez.
You know who else is in the
Still
house
out there.
this morning?
Who's that?
Macy.
Come on.
I need a cool nickname.
Oh,
I gave you one yesterday.
I forgot it because I don't know
I
that
remember
character.
it was,
Mace Windu.
yeah. I was struggling to come up with it. It's not exactly memorable. You have
Mace
to really,
Turndu.
You have to turn to.
Oh,
You have to jump through some hoops. For all of you folks, you know, the first couple of minutes of a live stream, that I don't suspect that there's a lot of people here. But
No, probably not.
if you're joining us, maybe you've been waiting all morning for this. I
have.
assume there's droves of people waiting for us to hit that go live button. Thanks for joining us, you know?
Yeah, I really
Thanks.
appreciate it.
Thanks for being here. You make it all interesting. All worth it.
Thanks for being our fans.
Yeah. We're going to talk a little bit in a minute about a thing that I like to call alignment. But in the meantime, did you see that baseball game last night?
Oh, you know I did.
I'm so sad about it.
Oh, man. Christina just joined us. For
Hello.
those, we didn't introduce Christina.
Yeah, Christina's with us this morning, too.
Heartbreaking.
Very heartbreaking.
It's just another entry. It's just another
Man.
line etched on that prison wall of battered Aggie syndrome,
I
you know?
My kids were like, before going in, I was like, hey, I'm just prepping my own heart here. They were like, why are you so down? I said, I'm an Aggie. This is,
Yeah.
you know?
I mean, I tried to protect the hearts of our colleagues yesterday before I went home, and I said, hey, don't y'all
Manage
get your hopes up.
expectations.
I feel like I have jaded Aggie syndrome.
That's just being an Aggie.
Which-
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
which
just
is
an
just
alternate
like-
version.
We go so high. We get
It's
so
basically
close.
like you're like, yeah, I'm gonna watch it, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And then you get into it, and you're super intense while you're watching it, down to the last second,
Yep.
and then the last second hits, and of course we lose, and you're like, well, that's about right, and then you just
Yeah.
kind of move on and watch a feed fill episode. So
But we made it this
It
far,
hurts.
guys.
It
Yeah.
hurts. It physically hurts.
it does.
It was sweet to be playing in the very, very last baseball game of the
Yeah.
entire college
And that
baseball
we
season.
got
That's
that
pretty
last
awesome.
Run, like
I
right
mean,
at the end, so it was a close
6-5.
game at least. It didn't feel.
Schloss said in his press conference, he said that I had absolute confidence that we were going to be able to be in a position to put that tying run on the board, and we were, that close.
One bat away.
And Hayden Schott was the one player that was interviewed, and he had a really tough time,
Oh, I'm sure.
but he kept coming back to and this may be interesting for business purposes.
Sure.
He said that team that we have, that camaraderie we have in the locker room, the dugout, our belief never wavered. Even though we were down, what was it, 6-1?
It was.
We never
maybe 6-2.
We never stopped believing that we were going to prevail at the end.
Golly, man, they got so stinking close.
And they're right there against the number one seeded team in the country. 60 wins. 60-plus wins, I think, maybe.
Man, congratulations to the Vols.
Anyway, belief, like how important it is to believe in your process, believe in your values, believe in the people that you're around, the product that you create. What's the
Come on.
is there a transference there, you think? Is there some
100%.
parallel?
Of course. I mean, sports are overused in business, but it's because it's a nice, tidy, little tight metaphor for everything that we go through. The clock doesn't run out on us.
Right.
And The goalpost often moves. The field sometimes even wobbles around and big potholes open up. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. I
The
think
rules of the game can get changed unexpectedly.
They
on
I
you.
can.
feel like it's more like sports, quote unquote, but like when children are playing and all the rules shift depending
Yeah.
on what's going on.
It's like you're playing football and then somebody brings out broadswords.
Yeah.
But the things that do pull through are things like teamwork, communication, having a plan, execution, perseverance, staying with it.
Mm-hmm.
Man. Yeah, so all those things do pull through. These are micro battlefields that we put our kids and our college students, and we enjoy watching. That's why they exist. That's why sports is a beautiful archetype, I would say, of life.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Greeks loved it, and I do too. So, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I would, man, it was so encouraging just to see the resilience and the fortitude that those guys showed.
Yeah.
Man, they crushed. They really did. They have a whole lot to be proud of right there. Down to one bat. Man, holding breath for that 4 hours was real tough. Needed some scuba gear. It was rough. Yeah. But we're Aggies. We didn't lose. We just ran out of time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Did y'all watch it just as your little family unit, or did you get together with people? Because that's often a popular thing to do.
No, it was just my family unit. This one, it was a surprise. We had some really close friends who, at the loss of Game 2 on Sunday, just packed up and went to Omaha and just knocking on the door, and they bought tickets and got in, and they had really good seats and had a great time.
I had
Wow.
friends do that as well. I had a couple friends go to Omaha, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's a thing. That spontaneity, you got to do that sometimes with your family.
Yeah.
Think of the memories that those kids have now. It was amazing. Family of, I think, 4 kids, and they brought one friend. It's kind of awesome.
Fun.
Both the coaches talked about what an atmosphere it was, how electric the atmosphere was.
Man.
Schlossnagel felt like it was almost bowl game-like in terms of the stadium being
Absolutely.
basically
Everybody was on their
split
feet.
evenly in half. There were hardly any neutral fans there. It was all people that were,
Yeah.
invested big time.
There was one guy with an Omaha hat on,
Yeah.
but he was really just there for the stadium. An old timer.
Yeah.
That
I
guy's
think I saw one guy with a Mississippi State shirt on, and so it looked like he was wearing maroon, and I was like, I see you there.
he just was pulling in some maroon.
But it was still maroon.
He's frugal.
Those
like,
those
okay, yeah.
tricky bulldogs.
There was one guy who had a burnt orange Masters polo on, and they put the camera on him on accident, and then the announcers were like, "Hey, wait, was that a Masters shirt?" And they went back to him and they zoomed in on the logo. They were,
Yeah,
like,
that was on
sneaky.
Sunday. Remember that?
I thought that was great. Oh man, that's kind of a good segue. I'm going to go into our education part of this.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Edumacation.
Edumacation. Here's what I want to talk about. Hopefully some value is brought forth here and put into people's minds. And I wanted to talk about a thing that is very near and dear to this agency, which is what we call alignment. We even named our newsletter, I believe, after the alignment. But alignment is a thing that we talk about all the time with our clients. Let me paint the picture of what the norm is, okay? The norm thing, the normal course of business, the usual playbook is this. I'm in business and I have a product, I have a widget, and I need to get it out there. So I might go and try to do it myself. Realize this is very difficult and I'm not actually making that much headway. So I might hire somebody, a niece, a nephew, somebody to kind of get out there and promote my business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Make a website, do an Instagram. Realize that you're paying a salary, maybe, or an hourly. You're paying something and still not actually making the kind of headway that you want to make. So you might up your game and hire somebody from college or just out of college, and same set of problems, because you don't really have a lot of plan. You don't really have a lot. Maybe you're figuring some things out along the way. But ultimately that person, if things go well, is going to say, hey, I need more resources. And you're going to say, well, what are you doing for me? And it's hard to prove what we do. So you might up your game even again and go hire somebody who is tenured out from the marketing or agency industry. And that person is going to cost a significant amount of money. And that person is going to say, thank you for the job. What are my resources? I need advertising spend. I need a photographer. I need videographers. I need web developers. And you're going to say, oh my gosh, that's so much energy. And so usually you might go and hire an agency. Now this agency might come in and you're going to think of them like a vendor. That is by default. They are not me, so they are them. And right off the bat, right there, you're misaligned, because you're thinking of them as a vendor. You're thinking of them the same way that you might think of
Janitorial services?
janitorial services. I was going to say something a little bit nicer, maybe like CPAs,
Okay.
lawyers. And you're working with them and you're kind of thinking through, like, they care about what they do and they're really good at what they do, and they care about me some.
I actually brought up janitorial services because it's kind of a fire and forget type of a attitude with that of, I'm
It's a little
hiring
bit
you
harsher, yeah.
and I just don't even want to think about what you do and how you do it. I just want the end result, which is a clean office.
You might think of it like in terms of supply, like if you have a vendor and they supply your metal for your widget, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to cut them as soon as I get a better price or a better service, right?
It's not relational.
It's not relational. And it's not even, there's something beyond relational. There is alignment in success. There is we are in this thing together. So here's what the word company means. The word company, if you look it up, its etymology, it's a Spanish word, and it was con pan, which means with bread. And so this is the idea of a lot of like travelers, a lot of pilgrims, maybe, yeah, but usually on trade routes, they would all join together, and to protect against bandits or whatever, these would be the people that you would walk through the desert with, or through the paths or the trade routes. And these were the people that you broke bread with. So this is an inherently relational thing, that you are breaking bread and having meals with the people that you are actually trying to make business with. So this is the idea of a company. Alignment, good alignment with clients from the agency side looks like this. When you win, then I'm incentivized to win as well. So this growth of a company, if I can grow you, then I get to grow, is how this should go. That's what a good alignment scenario is. Not, hey, I built you a website, give me some money. Or, hey, I did you a campaign, give me some money. Our ideal, our goal is to be in business with other businesses and go through this whole deal together, so that if we go and grow you, we also get to grow. That's good alignment. So we have multiple types of mechanisms to do that, but here is a mechanism that if you don't hear an agency talk about, you should kind of be a little bit red flagged, right? If they talk to you about flat rates or hourly rates, you're in a little bit of a rough spot. What you want to be hearing is percentages. Hey, we want you to spend X amount of your revenue in a percentage, because that percentage, it stays the same and it grows as you grow. Or hey, we want to work your ad spends and your advertising budgets in percentages because we have a mechanism for that to grow and shrink and grow and shrink so that we can be responsive to the market together. So that's kind of that's like a little bit of a hint as you're working through trying to figure out alignment with your agency is let's talk in percentages so that we're not talking in flat rates and hourlies, because flat rates and hourlies, at some point it's going to get hard and everybody's going to be tempted to cut the thing off. And it's like, well, if you push through, if you're just doing healthy business practices, then like we were talking about with sports, that goalpost can move, that field can expand, that timeline never has to, the clock never actually shuts off. We're just doing business now. That's what good alignment with an agency.
Just for clarity on the percentages piece, is that we talking percentage of revenue, percentage of profit? I mean, percentage of what?
So that's good. Typically you start at percentage of revenue because it's the broadest, easiest thing to talk about. But from there, people start to actually get into the numbers of things, and they're like, well, 10% of revenue sounds great, except that 70% of my revenue is going towards the cost of goods sold, right? Okay. Well, taking out cost of goods sold, that's your what we would call real revenue. So Mike McCallow is kind of termed, I don't know that he coined that term, but he uses it a lot. But your real revenue, this is the actual money into just your actual business. Now you have decision-making capability.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So real revenue. There is a more professional term for that. It's your net revenues, I think, after cost of goods sold. So working off of that, that's your decision foundation. Now we're going to talk about percentages. Now I want to allocate, boom, this much to payrolls and this much to marketing and this much to admin. So that's why we talk about alignment. Alignment's kind of a big deal. Yeah.
And it's something that you have to maintain, you have to work on. You can get aligned,
Yeah.
and then you've got to stay engaged.
It's about building relationship. It's about, I think a lot of, I don't want to be negative to the whole industry, that general list of a thing, but I do think there is
such broad brushstrokes,
such judgmental nature, dismissive. These jokers. But I do think there is a prevailing attitude in our industry of, I just want to do what I'm good at, and I don't want to deal with all the other things. That's never going to be successful. That's never going to actually be the way life is. You have to care about what other people care about. So we have an expression around here that we say sometimes we care more about the other person's business than they do.
Mm-hmm.
So when we see misbehaving CEOs who are like going out and buying cars and ignoring their business, we're like, we're still engaged. We have to care about their business more than they do.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot. They have to run their business, but we have to run ours too.
And we have to maintain good lines of communication with the clients to make sure that they know that we are always engaged, that we stay engaged.
That's right. It's very difficult work.
Marketing's hard.
Marketing is hard. Yeah. I'm going to get a bumper sticker.
Or a whiteboard.
Or a whiteboard. Yeah. That brings us to, I think, the fun segment. The segment number 3.
Segment O Fun.
I was informed that we may be changing this segment away from Youngs versus Olds.
Yeah, drop us a comment of what you think the next segment should be, because we're coming up with ideas.
Basically just fun things that happen live. But a better name.
Maybe we should just call it Stump the Chump.
Stump the Chump.
Stump
Honestly,
the
that's
chump.
kind of the game that we've been playing, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
Trying to
feel
make
like
y'all look
y'all
like
are
a
doing.
chump.
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what we're doing today. So
you know what? This is why I'm so competitive about it. It's because it's like I'm not that big a chump.
You're not.
I know Taylor Swift
I think we
stuff.
really just try to stump you. 'Cause-
I also am pretty good at revisionist history.
well, I'll explain sort of what we have chosen today. And it is a series of trends that are happening on social media right now. So there will be real trends that are happening and that have happened recently, and there will be some fake trends that have not happened. And I'm sure somebody's doing some of these somewhere, but they're not trends.
What level of inappropriateness?
Not inappropriate.
No,
Okay, all
These
right.
are vetted. Come on.
All right, there's
Come
children
on.
watching. There's children watching.
It's a family show.
So this is going to be like, show me the reels.
Ooh, is that what you're titling it?
Show me the reels.
Yeah,
Like
maybe.
reels are popular on
Show
social
me
media, but
okay.
we're talking about real versus fake.
Yeah, like I would say they're trending on TikTok probably most.
So this still
We could
kind
call
of
it-
qualifies as youngs versus olds.
We could
sort
call
of.
it, have you seen the one? Because that's how people start sentences.
Look it.
Look it.
Check it.
Look it. I like that.
All right, let's do this.
Okay.
Look it.
We'll start with the trend, and then you have to guess if it's fake or real.
Okay.
And we're playing independently of one another, right?
Yeah,
You're keeping
yeah.
score for him, keeping score for
Oh,
me.
okay.
Right.
We're
I'll
competitive
Keep
against
score.
each
How
other.
about I keep score since you have it in
Okay.
front of you.
Good deal. My
Yeah.
phone might die, but let's try this. All right.
Did you ping it
Oh yeah, yeah, it's on
Okay,
here.
so if yours dies, I can swap.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, let's start with the
Did
bubble
you hear
wrap.
Macy's? Okay. Her southern came out.
She let
Well,
that
you know
kind
what?
of
Her
let it
Texan
loose
came
for a
out.
little bit.
You know what this segment isn't? It's not making fun of Macy's accent.
It's
Oh, right,
making
right, right.
fun of TK and Thaddeus's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Back to
keep
you
the
guys.
focus
Back to
where
you
it
guys.
is.
It's making fun of our age and cultural position.
Cultural position. That's a good one. Yeah. Okay. Bubble wrap run. Where you're running across the room covered in bubble wrap.
That sounds like a real thing. I'm gonna go real.
I'm going to go fake. There is something right now about running across carpeted, like a lot of bubble wrap.
Running across bubble wrap or running with bubble wrap wrapped around you?
Who has access to that much bubble wrap?
I actually don't know.
Anybody, you can go get it from many stores.
I
Order
should
it off
know this
Amazon.
information,
I mean, think
honestly.
To do your stunt.
when you have to move, you can go get
That's a
bubble
good
wrap
point.
to pack your stuff up.
I'm going to go with fake.
Antiques.
It is fake. That's a fake trend.
So TK.
These
won.
sound so real.
That was pretty good. That was hard. I'll admit.
May I say, ChatGPT made all of the fake ones, and I'm like, okay, they're onto something. They're trying to make trends.
They are, yeah.
They,
You
as
went to
in
the-
AI.
Yeah. It is sentient.
Okay. Taping your phone to the ceiling or fan and dancing under it.
100% real.
Yeah, I'm gonna go real.
That one is real. That one is a real
I haven't
thing.
seen the ceiling. Or
Yeah,
sorry,
you-
the fan.
Yeah, and then it like spins around and you're like dancing, so it kind of looks like you're like in a club and
And
spinning around you.
Wait, is this where they do like toilet paper on each of the fan blades and it like makes a spiral?
No. But I know what you're
TPing
talking
your
It
own
should be.
ceiling fan, that's next level.
Also, this is completely off topic, sort of. But I saw a video today of somebody juggling, but it was from the, bird's eye view. And it just looks like
Hovering
the ball
little-
is just hovering. And it's really cool.
That's funny. I just yawned. Sorry. My voice changed. Okay. Cooking tiny versions of popular dishes.
Oh, also true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
real.
That one is real.
Delightfully cute.
Isn't it? Those
Yeah.
are the best.
But also like very strange science. Because
yeah,
it's like
how do you know the measurements?
yeah, and this little tiny loaf of bread comes out and it's got like one bubble and it's like amazing.
One little blob of
Yeah.
sourdough.
And then you feed it to a gerbil.
You have a
Cute.
very light snack. Sensory fasting. Taking a break from using one of your senses for a day to enhance the others.
I'm only going with fake because I haven't seen it.
I don't think people have the self-discipline to do that.
so savage.
In
That was
in general,
so true. Probably
in general.
Do you think it's that people are trying it because they don't think that they have?
I don't think they're gonna try it.
I don't think that if it's a trend, it's
It
very
should be.
obscure.
Which
It
makes
should be a
not
trend.
I feel like that's
Not using
That is
your-
that is a little bit oxymoronic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So y'all both say
I
not a
say
trend.
not a trend, but
Yeah.
it's true that people don't. Nobody's after trying to get less sensory.
Oh, that's actually an interesting via media right there. Of, I think it is done, but I don't think it qualifies as a trend. It's too obscure. It's too niche.
yeah.
it'd be very niche.
So maybe that could be a third option.
Not a trend.
Oh, feels so good right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like ChatGPT made things that I feel like people would start.
Yeah.
Like if somebody
Yeah.
found out about this,
There are
they're
like
gonna-
the sensory deprivation tanks you can
yeah,
go in.
that's true.
But it's like all senses.
I volunteer as tribute to cut out all sound for like how long could I go? 2 months? I could probably
Oh
hit
my
2
That's
months.
so odd.
I'm getting anxiety thinking about it.
No, I would be delighted.
I
I'd
would
be
be
so
so sad.
I
peaceful.
think I wouldn't want to not be able to see.
Some people are suffering from taste deprivation involuntarily or
Oh yeah.
It's led to depression.
smell
Yeah.
due
crazy.
to COVID-19.
You don't realize how much like the smell and taste of food impacts your life.
Yeah.
My husband lost his sense of smell after a really bad head injury. And every once in a while, for some reason, he'll get it back for a few minutes.
Mm.
And it's like, he
Magic.
lights up. He's
Yeah.
like, I can smell pizza.
Oh,
It's
man.
just like, this must be such a moment for you.
Man,
I'm always so sad for him when something
I love the
smells
smell
good.
of pizza.
Yeah.
Okay. Next trend. New ick unlocked. Showing things boys do that give girls an ick.
It's so depressingly real.
New ick unlocked.
New
You-
ick.
I think you need to
Like,
define ick.
So
I've
an
seen
ick would
it.
be
I've
like
seen this. I've seen. There's a
that-
list.
Like, it's gross.
It's like,
Like,
a
ugh, gross.
turn off. Like, I didn't like that. Like, ugh. He's not
there's
cute
a
anymore.
there's an account that's just compiling a list, and it's in the thousands now.
Yes,
but
I've
it's like, don't wear socks.
You're spoiling it, but yes.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
My
But it's
boys
so-
do that routinely.
Wear
They
socks.
Wear
Don't
socks.
don't wear socks.
Oh.
Oh no, they're saying that it'll be an interview with a woman, and she'll be like, "Oh, this guy, he just wore socks around his house, and ugh, it gave me the ick." And it's like it'll clip over to a note, and it says, "Don't wear socks."
They type it in. Don't wear socks.
My boys don't wear socks with their shoes routinely.
Yeah, I mean that's just teenage boy.
Yeah.
They are the ick.
It
Teenage
is.
boys.
So I guess we're getting trend.
Yeah.
Yep, that one's real.
Yeah,
That one is
yeah.
real. And there is an ongoing list. It's in the hundreds. The deep
Thousands.
hundreds. Thousands?
Thousands.
Holy
It's
cannoli.
yeah.
Well, on that trend, beige flags. It's not a green or a red flag. It's beige. Like a green flag would be, oh, he was kind and respectful. Red flag would be, he hit me. And then beige flag is sort of in the middle of like,
You went dark
he,
right there.
He doesn't wear socks with his shoes. That's a beige flag. It's not good or bad. It's just,
It just is.
That's fake. That's fake.
I think it's real or
That's
fake.
too esoteric.
People are esoteric. Apparently.
Not
That's a
really. I
real-
mean, no.
that's a real
That
real
is
trend.
a real trend. Telling your
So weird.
beige flags.
Yeah.
Mine would be probably that I could eat a whole pot of macaroni. That's a beige flag.
I would say that's a green flag. That's
All
impressive.
right. Green flag.
Yeah.
Um.
I'm
Fellas,
plenty of
take
beige
note.
flags, I just can't think of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Mantra
People be
infused
crazy.
water. Speaking positive affirmations into water before drinking it to imbue it with positive energy.
It's probably true. I mean, that's one of those. People
love
probably
that.
do it, but is it really a trend?
It's a trend. That's a real one. I've seen a couple of people. I don't know what constitutes a trend, but
Exactly.
I've seen people do experiments where they positive energy up their water. They call it water memory.
What?
Yeah, water has memory.
Water has memory. Wait,
Yeah.
I've seen that, but I don't think I've.
So is this not a trend?
It's not a trend.
I think this is actually a trend.
But I like. Again,
See, thank you.
I'm saying I don't doubt some people are probably doing this somewhere.
So, well,
But I don't
there's
think it
actually-
qualifies as a trend.
There are some, like I remember quite a while ago, I saw a video on this study they did with plants and had recordings that were speaking to it with not just kind words, but kind words in a nice tone, kind words in a negative tone, you know, all the variations, and they were like separated so they couldn't hear each other. And the one with actual kind words and kind voice grew twice as big, and the one that said mean things in a mean voice literally like died.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And they all had the same amount of water, sunlight, everything.
The same kind of experiment. I saw somebody put, they had a control, just empty a regular glass of water, and then they put like 10 grains of rice in one glass and another glass, and they spoke negatively to one and positively to the other, and the one that did negative dried up and got moldy, and the one that was positive actually fermented and turned into like a white
Like
vinegar,
sake or
like an
something.
actual useful product.
This
why
is
did I say
insane
sake?
to me.
You said water, not wine.
Yeah, it's bonkers. It's crazy.
Fermented.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
So not a trend. All right,
That's
I got
not
it
a
wrong.
trend, but-
All right,
but
my
I guess-
first
So
one
I
to
got
get
the
wrong.
point.
Yeah. I think, yeah.
Synchronized swimming moves. Doing synchronized swimming moves in midair. Not underwater. Wouldn't that just be
So-
dancing?
I
What,
think that's a physical
skydiving
one.
and then
Midair, so
doing
it's like-
synchronized swimming moves?
Oh,
You know what I mean?
This
so it's like
this
while
sounds
you're
like
jumping.
some weird Frankenstein trend that ChatGPT came up with.
Yeah, I don't think it's a trend.
yeah, that one's fake. Honestly, I couldn't
Alright.
even explain it because I was like, I don't know what.
Yeah, the
I was
AIs
trying
are.
to cover for you.
Yeah.
You know what my favorite trend I'm trying to start is insult the AI. Mark
Yeah.
came up with this, but if you insult AI, it makes people around you uncomfortable, which is hilarious because it's AI. It can't be insulted. It's not a person.
Right.
But if you're like, yeah, that idiot, my idiot slave AI, people are like, ooh, see, there's a face. It was like, ooh, ooh.
Makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah,
It's just a robot.
it's
Last
not even
one.
that.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Silent reviews. People review products without saying a word.
That's probably a trend.
If it's not, it ought to be. I don't think it is.
Pantomime or sign language.
Or just like a face.
Cards.
Just be like,
Yeah, face.
Yeah, it's real.
Is
and
it
they
real?
just do exagerated like facial
I
expressions.
like that
Where they're
one.
like
I like
Which-
that one.
the people
Waving a beige flag.
Right.
You're not going to be harmed or
It's all right.
edified by this book. So, yeah, whatever.
So whatever.
Yeah. That was it, guys. That was our.
Hey.
Okay, so who won?
Thaddeus.
Nice.
By
Oh.
1 point.
Oh,
Yeah, lost
Man.
last
he
time.
He went down at first and then tied you back for a while
Man.
and then popped up to the top.
well done.
Woo!
I was kind of channeling some A&M.
That was my silent review of this
I
moment.
was down and then I came back at the end, and
Yeah.
thankfully I was able to actually
What's
pull
your
through.
silent review of this live stream?
That's from beginning to
That
end.
was pretty good.
That was
You
good.
reviewed the whole thing.
Yeah.
That
that
was
was-
his silent review.
That was great. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody.
Woo! Woo! I'm taking a picture of you guys. So give everyone a wave goodbye. Have a good morning.